Hello, and welcome back everyone to Total War 3 Kingdoms as Yuan Shao. We are coming back exactly where we left off on the end turn, where we are wondering where this massive army led by Gongsun Zan is going to go, whether it's staying in the commandery of Ji over here, the province capital of Guangyang. This is going to be a tough battle if we do choose to go straight in. So I'm actually going to think about waiting around in ambush stance once again with Yuan Shao, because I don't think our army can quite stand up to this, just because it does have some multi-bolt crossbows. The Juggernaut's not so much of a bother, but also these Jan Marjen infantries, they will really hurt our own infantry, which just can't stand up, so they'll rip apart our G militia, which we are pretty much relying on in this army, as well as our massive amount of cavalry. So we'll see. It's possible. If we take that in an open field battle, I think we can take it. But they do have a minor garrison over here, which does add to it. And of course, it will be a settlement battle. So we hope to ambush them, try and tempt them out to take Yobei Ping once again. We are poised with Zhang He as well to take the province capital of Liaoxi over here. So we're going to be fine on that. Once again, that's got a small garrison over there. Nothing to worry about too much there. But I think we'll try and starve them out and get them to break a siege over there. We do need to wait one more turn so that we do actually have the movement to get over there. So without further ado, let's end the turn already and actually try and get over there. Well, we do actually have a surprise at the end turn, because we are actually at war with the remnants of Zhang Yan's old faction over here. And they do have a minor army coming down to take Julu and Anping over here. So we are actually going to have to raise a small army to have to deal with this, because we can't come around in time with Yuan Shao. It looks like Gongsun Zan has bypassed our ambush and is actually going for the rest of Guangyang. We probably should have predicted that. Not to worry. What we can do, they are going to take that over the end turn. Do we try, what sort of tier city is this? Can we work that out? Not the largest, that shouldn't have walls. I think we do a swap over here. We take the province capital and let them take Junmi over here, because we're not going to make that, but we can make G. Let's just double check people. What's Hanfu that needs an upgrade? Let's go over to this quickly. And we'll do a map view. That is going to be walled off, but I think really we'll be fine with just delegating that, because it's going to be a very quick battle. Quick and easy. That will likely tempt Gongsun Zan back over, and we did only lose 49 people, so that's absolutely not a problem. We did lose a bit of imperial favour, but we did gain some lineage. We're going to secure and occupy that. So yeah, he should probably come back around. He's only managed to make that distance on a forced march, so I'd imagine he probably can't quite come back if he wanted to in one turn. So we should be able to replenish that over this turn. That's absolutely fine. It is actually Shu Yo who took lots of the damage there. That was only a large town rather than a small city, which does get some decent walls. We will want to upgrade that soon, so that we can actually make this into an industrial complex, because we do have some irrigated farms for food, and we do have the farm labour camp for that as well to boost that up. So this will be a very nice money making a settlement. Let's go over to siege down Liaoxi over here. We might demand surrender. Let's try. Okay, it's their last place, so not to worry. Continue the siege there. Let's see how they feel about trying to force an engagement with that, because I'm feeling fairly confident we can take that, especially since these are actually fairly damaged over here, I believe, from a previous battle we fought. So upgrade Hanfu. Give him passive buff for plus 900% charge resistance is not necessarily bad at all. He does have Binding Fury. We're going to try and go for Hamstring at some point. Giving him the extra campaign movement when commanding is also useful, but we'll go for Earthen Rampart to begin with. We don't have any followers to give him. What about armour? Nothing really great, to be honest. Always do wonder about upgrading these armours, because it does give a couple minor malices, but it's the massive minus 12 expertise malice. Although it does have a lot of health, getting the drop in actual melee evasion there would be a bit of a hit. Let's have a look, see what that actually looks like. We do only lose 3 melee evasion, so it's not the worst. We'll give him that. No particular weapons. These are all locked because they're in use, and these don't necessarily help too much, do they? The G's a little more balanced. Might give him an axe. We'll see about that. We shall see later on. But first, we do actually need to spend some money on defending Anping over here. So we're going to raise an army in Chengdu. And that actually might not be a bad idea to raise Zhao Yun. Give him some real purpose. Yuan Tan's not necessarily bad either. But although Zhao Yun is going to be a bit more expensive, but more well-rounded. Exactly what do we have in this army over here? Few bandit marauders, few spears, nothing huge. I think Zhao Yun's probably the best one to go for, really. So that's some very interesting units over here, bandit warriors from them. That's also a new person to recruit and worry about. So this is going to take a lot of our money. I think we'll be fine there. What we can do with that, though, is, I think, swap out the Lance Militia for some more spears, perhaps, some more G Militia will do. It's a very high tier G Militia already, actually. And they'll be up within 3 turns, and that'll be great. We won't give him anyone else just yet. I think we can stand up against that, especially with Zhao Yun. He could certainly take a duel and remove this army by himself. So that's all fine down there. Just need to watch out for this large army. Is there anything else? We can't really spend a lot more money at the moment, can we? And I don't think we really want to at the moment. It's only a school we can upgrade there, and a province capital can be upgraded, but it's a big investment at the moment. Just want to save some money where possible now. And as predicted, we will be losing this province over here. So we are going to just delegate that. There's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. And there we go. So lost a few units themselves. Did gain a tiny bit of lineage, but we'll be saying goodbye to Junmi for a little bit of time there. So what can we do about that? I think we just have to go back and take that with Yuan Shao, don't we? Brothers in Arms, that's very interesting. Shungu's getting a lot of satisfaction bonuses recently. His relationship is deepening with Zhang He, which is great. So both of them actually getting some satisfaction for 10 turns. I think their satisfaction was quite high anyway. We're recalling Han Fu from an assignment, not to worry. We have replenished here, so we're actually going to move towards... Do we move towards Yobei Ping, or do we move through here again? I think we move towards Yobei Ping, really. And then we can move up over here if need be to intercept Gongsun Zan if possible. Not going to upgrade this just yet. We're going to carry on sieging there. It looks like this army has retreated at the sight of Zhao Yun, as it bloody well should do. Going to keep him stationed just here so we can get that mustering up and ready, and then maybe even try and scout Zhongshan over here, although that might well be a province capital. Lunu. Yeah, it's a province capital for that, so might not be able to take that with just Zhao Yun, but we'll see. Is there anything else we can do over diplomacy, perhaps? Any quick deals? Let's get some non-aggression perhaps with Mao, just to increase our general relations about a bit. We'll negotiate that. Perhaps we can get something else out of it. Has he got any? He's not really got anything decent there. What about just a regular payment then? Request something small. No, standard payment, upfront payments. Goodwill payments would be very nice indeed. Let's see, we're getting fairly high with that. Let's go as much as we can. 600 sounds good. I'll happily take that. Who else wouldn't mind a bit of non-aggression? I do want to dominate and take over Liu Yu over here because he does hold some more horse pastures over here, which is very useful indeed. I think he does only have these two commanderies as well. The province of Dai, so it should be fairly easy to take over later on. We can upgrade this for got the prestige, but 100 more income is not necessarily bad. It's quite the investment at the moment though. Let's go through our provinces at the moment. We can upgrade this for a little more food. That's not really a problem at the moment. We might want to upgrade our pier. So let's go more for income. So we get more income from commerce here, and that's going to be excellent in Huane. That is going to be absolutely brilliant. So it's lots of money spent once again, but all for a good cause indeed. Let's check our imperial intrigue. Our favour is not too bad actually, and that does in fact increase our satisfaction faction wide and reduce our corruption, which is bloody good. Bloody good indeed. Don't need to increase our favour. Don't really want to reduce anyone's. No, we'll be fine with that. Be absolutely fine with that. So I think, how long do we have for another reform? Next turn, what do we want to get? We were going to go for the reduced character salary, weren't we? Because that is absolutely huge for them. We're paying 2.3 in character salary, which is horribly nasty for us. So let's carry on. See where Gongsun Zan goes. Interesting, Liu Bei has signed a peace treaty with Dong Zhuo. We can see from globally, Liu Bei has actually made some advancements over to Qi Pass. So it looks like he is threatening over here. And actually, Yuan Shao, our cousin, has made some advancements into Luoyang. Very good for himself there. Liu Bei is always rather migratory. He takes a lot of provinces in this area and then just moves straight on over towards Luoyang. Very interesting playstyle there. We're going to get our reform though, and that should help us out quite a bit. And then we can go for more public order focused problems over there. That's reduced our character salary by about 300, which isn't necessarily bad at all. Got a land registry office in Bohai built. Excellent. No particularly standout characters. That's okay. Yuan Shao and Yanliang were friends anyway, so nothing really to shout about here. What can we get from our faction council then? Can celebrate Zhao Yun and give him plus 40 satisfaction for 5 turns. Not necessarily bad at all. Or we can reduce the military supplies and replenishment of Gongsun Zan. I don't think that's necessarily relevant at the moment. He is still sat in a province, which won't hurt him too much if we do this. What could we do Yuan Shao? Reduce the satisfaction of Xu Huang. Not doing too much over there with them at the moment. Or we can character personality trait re-rolled for Yuan Shang. That's rather interesting. That's very interesting. I think we can go for that. And we will go for increasing Zhao Yun's own satisfaction because it was a little on the low side. Actually, it's standing at 28, which is terrible. Still waiting for that recent events malice to disappear. So if we go for those, did I enact that? I did not, because I'm silly. And we're going to re-roll Yuan Tan instead then. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's go for it. That's all good. So he's now intimidating. So he's immune to scaring and gives him more instinct. That's not necessarily bad, actually. Alrighty. Cool. Alrighty. Let's move over here then. What sorts of garrison do we... Oh, that's actually a very nasty garrison. It's even worse than over here. They are replenishing. Might have to call in Zhang He a bit later on. What we can do is... If we send over here an ambush, where do we cover? We do cover most of the road. Coming towards us, but we don't quite cover this crossroads over here. But I'm sure we want to sit there anyway. How are we doing? We are losing military supplies quite quickly over here. How long do they have before they start starving out? They are doing so already, so another turn of siege there will be very nice. It might actually come out and break the siege over the end turn there. So let's try and force that out. And we have actually succeeded in ambushing Gongsun Zan, which is absolutely brilliant. We can see his strategists are not the healthiest at all. It's going to be a bit of a toughie. We do have some garrison aiding us as well, because we're close enough to our own province over there. So we did say in an open field we might be able to take this, and I think, really, especially with it being an ambush battle, their siege equipment should be pretty much nullified. We'll rush down their archers and their cavalry, which should be absolutely fine. Just need to watch out for the Janmagen infantry, because that will absolutely wreck our own infantry. So let's get started. Okay, so going into this ambush battle, we've set up ourselves to try and quickly take out the enemy juggernaut and multi-shot crossbows as quickly as possible by entangling most of the enemy over here with some spearmen and then charging straight in with the wedge formation saber cavalry to really batter them. And I use our archers over here to make sure their morale is quickly shattered. We are going to have the problem, however, of having worse general morale than the enemy because we are largely militia units ourselves. I'm going to try and deal with Janmagen infantry by just tying them up with some spears and charging straight onto them with some saber units of our own. And then once Yuan Shao and some cavalry over here have dealt with the enemy cavalry, we're going to go straight on and get some rear charges on, I think, if possible there. So let's get going and just issue some charging orders here, I think, like so. Get these cavalry units out before the enemy attack our own spears and such. Get onto the juggernaut as quickly as possible because that will absolutely batter our infantry. Get our units also over here to fire on a single unit there. Keep our strategists out to help with morale. Should be fine on that. Nice charge coming in over here. Hopefully that keeps while we deal with the enemy cavalry. They are rousing. We have managed to do a massive rouse in the centre over here. That's absolutely brilliant. We're going to keep our archers then on this massive blob of enemy infantry. Get our cavalry over into these archers. And then we can swing around over here to deal with the multi-shot crossbow. Multiple bolt crossbow, and then just deal with this unit of cavalry very quickly, please. We need to source out this flank as quickly as possible. Looks like we're okay over here. We will chase down as many units as possible to make sure they do not escape, of course. We're done over here. Let's bring all of our cavalry then over here and get these units of infantry, I think, to charge down this archer militia. Yeah, support over here, charge down the saber militia where possible, and that actually is very, very swift indeed. Very, very swift indeed. Let's pull out our saber militia, I think, and then get a cleaner charge up with our cavalry. I think we'll deal with these archers over here. Where's Yuan Shao? He's chasing some retreating units. We need him in the fight a little more consistently. And now we can get a cleaner cavalry charge in over here, I think. Yeah, that would be much better. Much, much better. Let's charge down as much of this as possible so it does not recover over the end turn, of course, and after the battle. But even with these multiple rear charges, there we go, only just shattering the Janmajan infantry there. Let's deal with these horse archers. What have we got over here we can use? Let's fire out onto these archers in the back. Gongsun Zan is still about, but we can deal with him soon. Let's get on over here. And there we go, we can just run down with a couple units here and bring over here to deal with the enemy horse archers, and we'll deal with a lot of that with the Yuan Shao as well. Excellent to see them rout so quickly. It's really, really good indeed. Very, very pleased with that. And so the ambush did in fact succeed. Is a boon in itself. This would have been much, much harder, I think, in a plain open field battle. Let's pull back our spears, actually. They're not doing too much. They can rest. And it's down to our cavalry. Once again, the enemy cavalry archers are so much quicker than us. So much quicker than us. We're going to have to try and circle them if possible. Actually, we're getting reduced speed from our wedge formations here. So let's come out of that if possible. And encircle this cavalry over here. What we're doing on this side, looks like we've caught Gongsun Zan and some more archer militia. Let's run those down. We have a lot of spears actually. We'll come over here to support our own morale. How are we doing with running these down? Might want to run these all the way down so that they have pretty much no one left. Let's remove that so we do get more speed. It's a very limp rear charge there. Very limp indeed. Well, that should be about fine. How are we doing over here then? Yeah, we're just dealing with the horse archers. There's only 17 of them, but are they unbreakable? Because they have 0 morale. There we go. Not unbreakable, just refusing. And we'll deal with the archer militias and such now as well. That's very nice indeed. Excellent. And that is a confirmed victory. Let's chase everything down. Ooh, lots of saber cavalry over here actually. Rather interesting. It must be because they're just fighting Gongsun Zan, but we don't need to worry about him now he's retreating so much. So, what were the exact results? Let's have a look. Not looking like we're going to destroy them too much. Only a couple units really destroyed there, not even all of their siege equipment. Rather unlucky. We didn't lose a huge amount of people ourselves, but the enemy does have rather a lot of men remaining there, so we're going to have to chase them down over the end term. We will release Yuan Shao over here for 400 income straight away, and we are actually going to go for the income here as well, the ransom, because that's a lot of money to take. So at the end of that turn, what do we have? Supplies destroyed for Zhao Unit was, which is rather unlucky there. Got a title because we won an ambush battle. We are just going to run this down and delegate through that, I think. Should all be good there. That's brilliant. Yeah, not a loss of men lost at all. We did completely wipe out that army with another 1200 loot gained from that. A loss of lineage. And just a little bit of Imperial Favour loss. We're actually going to release Zhulge Jin. Rather interesting, he's in the north. Historically, he did serve the Southland, and he is the brother of Zhulge Liang. We are going to take a little bit of replenishment there. And next turn, we will just take Jun Mi back for ourselves. And that will be Gongsun Zan absolutely obliterated. How are we looking over here? We are losing military supplies, as we said. But I think, really, we can just... one more turn of that, perhaps? One more turn? And we'll just delegate through that one, I think. Don't particularly like siege battles myself, I'm afraid. We'll have a lot of repairing to do there. How are we doing over here? We have mustered up, and we're going to go over here. And it looks like we could probably take Lunu just as we are. What's the... yeah, the garrison is pretty terrible, but we've got to imagine that the army's retreated over here to Changshan. So we're actually going to get up, I think, another retinue over here. And I think we're actually going to go for a captain. We'll go for a infantry captain, just for the numbers, and it's a lot cheaper than going for a historical character of some sort. So it will take 3 more turns to muster up, but not to worry. It's not a massive drain on our income there. It looks like we've actually finished a food trade, perhaps. Not getting loads and loads from diplomacy, and we do have a big boost to our food out of nowhere. But now that we do actually have a decent amount of income without the diplomacy, don't need to rely on that quite so much, do we? What can we upgrade then with our money that we've looted? Might just wants to try and go for province upgrades in general over here. Ping Yuan, though, is not looking bad with the salt to upgrade. Wei might want to go to upgrade that once again so we can get a UN administration office there. Might do that. Do we get any extra? We get a little bit more prestige from upgrading that. That's 4,000 gold just gone like that, though. Got the shopkeeper over here. It's more percentage incomes, though. I wouldn't mind some solid money. You can get that from the coastal trading port, so it's not loads and loads. We might just upgrade Guangyang over here to get the extra slots, actually. It's a loss of money once again, though, but I think we go for that because we're quite limited at the moment, and we might want to upgrade that a bit further later on. What assignments do we have free? We can go for increased food or more reserves. Not really too great. We can go for more income from industry, actually, somewhere. And peasantry as well from Lady Liu, who is giving us a lot of industrial income then. Not a lot of people. Getting some from Ping Yuan. Let's send an assignment over there then. And we will do the industry there. Who's giving us the most peasantry? Let's have a quick look through. That'll probably be something like 300 or so. Let's go to Amping and just send that through again. Get Lady Liu on that. Excellent. That'll be some more income over the next turn there. And then, over the next turn, we can actually mop up the final areas in this north area here, and then we can declare war on Liu Yu to get the horse pastures and the money coming from there. And we can advance through here as well. I think he's only got a couple provinces or a couple commanderies there, so that should be a quick walkover. Then we've got to start thinking about the mid-game. Okay, so interestingly, Wang Kuang has broken a non-aggression pact. That, of course, works both ways. Now to see what comes of that, perhaps he is thinking of declaring war on us. So Yuan Shu's signed peace with Liu Jun. We'll see how that moves. Liu Jun actually has a coalition with Liu Dai. That's not to worry too much. We have to give Liu Yu some food to gain imperial favour. We can have a look at that. We are probably struggling a little bit for imperial favour. Let's send some medicine for our siege over here, so that we don't lose any more supplies and such. No real characters of note. Shun Yu has the bright trait for more military supplies especially. Excellent. Very, very useful indeed. So Wang Quang is over here. We are trading with him. Looks like he does only have the one province though, so might want to take care of that. Fortunately, Zhongjiang does have the province capital over there. She might turn out to be a problem later on actually. Yuan Shao is actually taking a lot of areas over here as we've previously discussed, so we'll see. Let's go straight on over here before this army mutters up anymore. Demand surrender? No, it is their final province, so I think we can really just delegate through this. No need to think about that too much. Haven't lost anything over there, not a huge amount of men lost. Bit of money income. And then, yeah, we're losing the Imperial favour, we'll have to look out for that. Secure and occupy, of course, as ever. And Gongsun Zan is destroyed. Of course, we did have the mission for that. So for 5 turns, we're now getting more population growth, public order, and income from peasantry, which is excellent. That will then hopefully give us another mission. Yeah, destroy the Jiangyan faction, and we are on the path for that. So that will give us the Path of Glory once again, but upgraded. Character ranks gained, Shu Yo. Excellent. We are going for this area over here. So we're going to go for precision for more ranged armor piercing and ranged firing rate. Got no followers though, we're lacking in followers really, aren't we? Need to start executing enemy captives and such. Maybe trading for that. Might want to think about redoing this army though, because it's not able to stand up for itself a lot of the time because we don't really have the infantry to do so, do we? So, we might want to go for some siege equipment here actually. I have worried about that. We'll think about that later on. I think for now though, we can swap some units out over here. Wouldn't mind going for some more Defenders of Hebei, wouldn't necessarily bad, or Warriors of Yi. Neither particularly bad. I wouldn't mind some more morale though. It's really going to hurt our own stuff out there. These are G Militia. Let's change those into Warriors of Yi. Yi Vanguard Spearmen are not necessarily bad, with the shield there especially. Does have a lot of evasion. The attack power of these are much better though, and they're just that much cheaper. Let's go for that. So that's looking a tad better. A tad better. It's just the huge amount of cavalry is not always needed, is it? It's been helpful, but I might want to think about some saber militia or something. So we are going to start running out of military supplies, are we? Yeah, it's just low supply, but we're static at the moment. And I think we're looking okay to just delegate through this, really. Let's do that. And there we go. Not too bad there, a bit of damage on our heroes, but we can certainly work through that. We've got no more threats in this area. Losing a bit of Imperial favour. We'll take a quick look at that in just a second. Secure and occupy. And our rank has finally increased to Marquis, so we can now actually get another trade agreement. We have 3 possible points. I really like administrators. That's going to take 3 more to get up to there. And that does reduce character salary, but I would love to be able to get some spies out, really. Ooh, that's a tricky one. I'm not so bothered about armies. Although, satisfaction, when commanding, is not necessarily bad. Faction-wide. Have been struggling a little bit with that. That is very interesting. I'm really liking the reduced character salary in the administration positions because we're really going to need them since we're quite wide now. I think we hold off on the spies because we can get a technology for that later on, or a reform, but the administrators is where we want to go, especially that reduced character salary. So let's see what that has done for us, but we have set about Imperial favour. We're not so bad. We can gain a little bit, and we'll make sure we give actually some food over here for a few turns. We could do a trade agreement, but I really want to take those horse pastures for myself. I really do. We shall... How much food does he have? He's very poor. We'll just give him all the food we need there. So we'll make a food trade. Put that all the way down. Don't want it to be loads and loads. Not that charitable. Come on. Give him 12. We could try and vassalize him, actually. No, that's never going to work. Never going to work. That's rather unfortunate. So what we'll do is can we be cheeky and ask some territory? Ooh, that might just work. What can we do for that? If we pay him a little bit, do have the money. Oh, that's actually swapping some territory of our own. Nanpi. Which one was Nanpi? Oh, that's all the way down there. That's rather interesting. Nah, no thank you. No thank you. And we'll just do 107 for our 15 food, just to get something else of it. So it's the imperial favour we're looking for, really. So what we want to look at is the administration positions. Let's go to courts. We do have 3 extra positions. And do we have, Zhao Yun's in a position there. So let's go over here. Shu Yo certainly needs one, but he's going to increase corruption a little bit. Hand food for food and money from peasantry. Let's go for him first then. So who is getting money from peasantry once again? Amping will certainly do quite well from that. Guangyang might want to save for someone else. Let's see. I could just go to here to Wei, certainly needs one. 390, 346. Let's go for this. Go for Amping. There we go. And we will send. Actually, Zhang He is going to get a lot of satisfaction from this position. A lot of satisfaction. We'll send him somewhere, I think, really with an industrial capability, because he's a senator and Will Lacer gets the ability to do that. What we can do is send him then to, I think we'll send him to Guangyang over here. Like so. One more position then for Shu Yo, perhaps? Let's just check Lady Lu's own satisfaction. It's not great. She does certainly want a court position. Shu Yo's is just the same though. And his general satisfaction is a tad higher, but he is also in service. So we shall reward him for his service. And we'll send him to... I think we'll send him to Yobei Ping. Excellent. We can get some more. We can get a Grand Director and a Grand Chooser, but we'll save those for later. We might actually want to start thinking about increasing our court as well. We do have a lot of characters over here, and they're all being used very well indeed. We've got a lot of satisfaction now. And that is finally what stability looks like. Well, having said that, just noticed, completely forgot about Liao Dong over here. And that's a shame because we do have to replenish over here. But I think we'll just spend the rest of our money. What do we actually have over here? Magistrate's very useful. Might want to change that though, because that's not actually a UN administration office, which is a shame we can't convert that. Government workshop we certainly want, and we will take the horse exchange here. Will we? Will we? I think we will, because that can be a commercial and industrial. We'll leave the tool workshop for now. So we'll end the turn and look at upgrading this once again. Now, Liu Bei is actually offering us a trade agreement, and he's going to pay us 1,200. We're going to certainly say yes, because that's quite a massive trade agreement for 623. Certainly going to do that. Oh, we've got a lot of messages on the end turn here. So, who is this? So, Gao Gan's being succeeded by Zhuozi Zhulan. That's okay. That doesn't really matter. They've been destroyed as well. We'll have to double check who by. Probably. Oh my god, we've seen Sima Baomeng has been replaced by Zhang Fang. That's interesting. Friends between Yuan Shao and Liu Bei, Zhang He and such. That's okay. Buildings, we do need to watch out for this because we did remove that. So what we're going to do is actually get the UN Administration Office for public order and prestige, income from all sources, and later on some lineage. So the harbour over here we have upgraded. That's excellent. That's more income from commerce. We might want to think about getting this reform later on. Let's just highlight that for ourselves. That's actually not too bad. That's actually the next for a trade agreement as well. But we might want to think about either the spies, this one, or even the public order we have been pining for, haven't we? Because you probably need to watch out for that. We do have a couple malices there. What can we do? Yuan Long. Ooh, garlic leaf fragment. That's interesting. Certainly want to give that to someone. Certainly want to give that to someone who doesn't have anything particularly interesting. I think we'll do it for Shenyu. For the replenishment, that'd be very useful indeed. Nice, that's a very, very nice little bonus there. So what's going on over here? Why is the factions being destroyed? Can't remember where Galgan was, to be honest. But it's getting very chaotic over here. When we do push in to Luoyang and such, we could have a lot of enemies. We might want to keep our coalition with Liu Bei alive for that. Have a look at diplomacy in a second. We've got one more turn before this is actually all done. So we'll wait around for that. How are we doing with the replenishment over here? Probably one more turn there. So we'll stay there for now. In fact, actually we'll push over to the road. Get a bit more sight. We can see an enemy army mustering up over here. There's only a couple of strategists for now. And I think we'll move then down here. Quick look over diplomacy. Can we create vassals from anyone? No, is the answer there. Quite simply. So I think if we can't vassalize anyone, we're going to use our better judgment and actually just sign a peace treaty, which we have already done with Gongsun Zan over here. So a little bit of labouring over thinking about that. Just because, you know, it's not the most useful province over here. Is another lumberyard over here, which will give us a little more income, but not the greatest amount there. And don't want to really, I think, commit to this army for so long. Just the right top corner of this map over here. We do want to come down and start dealing with the bandits and stuff over here. I think Zhenjiang might turn out to be a problem, although Liu Bei does seem to be having an interest over there. He is at war with Zhang Fang, who we're trying to deal with over here, of course. So I'm wondering what he's doing up here, really, with Zhenjiang. But really, I think that is unfortunately all we have time for today, ladies and gentlemen. It's dragging on a bit for your watch time. We have got a lot of stability in our own income now, finally, after going as wide as possible in the north. We're really not relying on diplomacy at all now, which is excellent. So we've sort of reduced our character salary. But that will be an ongoing issue throughout the game, really, won't it? So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video. And as ever, please do leave your feedback in the comments section below. It's very, very useful to read that. But in the meantime, I shall see you in the future. May all of your nights and days be auspicious. Goodbye.